So I remember in one of our meetings in our journey group, we were discussing roots and we came up with the acronym running out of time. It was one of the best groups that we had where I swear I could see physical change dropping from people and even myself. What we talked about in that group were things that had been so deeply embedded in us to the point they had created roots. And as you may know, that the hardest part of a tree or a plant to take out, it's the roots. There are roots that are visible as you can see them with your physical eye on the ground. Then there are those roots that are so far in there with twists and curves that make it near impossible to take out. I'm not sure if you ever been there before, but we had decided to take out some plants and flowers from the front of our house. It was horrible, but we got through it. Do you know that those same exact flowers and plants begin to grow yet again in less than a year? That's kind of like us. We could clean our physical appearance, maybe even get plastic surgery to touch it up. But there is no form of plastic surgery to cover our deep wounds. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. How's it going, family? I'm super excited to share with you all this message for today. My name is Jonathan, and my sole purpose in life is to see you succeed in all aspects of life. In Genesis 25:27, we come to the story of Jacob and Esau, where Jacob tricked his older brother Esau to give him his birthrights while he was making some stew. And Esau had come home starving. This brother was hungry, if you know what I mean. And he had agreed to give his birthrights to his younger brother, Jacob, which meant that he had given Jacob the larger inheritance from their father just for a bowl of stew. Now, that might have been the dumbest thing that someone that could have done, and one thing that he'll be crying about later. On that thought, don't make a permanent decision on a temporary emotion. Also, be careful what you joke about and who with, because this kind of sounded even humorous. Like, oh yeah, for sure, take it without another thought. And you never know who is planning your demise. Then in the next chapters to come, we see how Jacob would not only trick Esau, but yet his father as well, just for an advancement of position. Listen, some of you are sleeping around, possibly with bosses, in order to be given a higher position, or even for some type of status in your community as kind of a celebrity, Instagram celebrity. And all you are doing is setting yourself up for heartache. Stop, prevent it before it goes even further. Jacob becomes to be known as the trickster. Some of us have been known for another name for way too long. Oh, she's easy. He's a hoe. They're thieves. She's insecure. He's a cheater. That was a prostitute. And so forth. But God is looking to change your name. What he did to Jacob's in upcoming chapters was change his name from Jacob to Israel. These names might even be a generational thing. Your mom was a cheater, so you're a cheater. Your dad was passive, so you're passive. See, Jacob was only a trickster because that's what his dad was, and that's what his mom was. It's time to change that. And that comes with digging up some roots. A root is a hurt, an offense, a lie that has been believed, or something that has been done for so long that they have gone really deep in the inside. We could have been hurt in the past by our parents and play it out in the present moment. As your dad not being around, and now you're taking off on your child and his mom. Maybe it was probably even an encouraging word like, I will never be like my mom. And it falls right back on you as you find yourself from sheets to sheets. Someone might have called you ugly when you were just a kid, and now as an adult, you have insecurities of not looking your best. Maybe it was something you even did that has come back to haunt you, over and over. You might have touched someone inappropriately, and now you can't even get aroused with your spouse because of those constant thoughts bombarding your head. As I mentioned earlier, we gave Root the acronym, you're running out of time. And it is so true. You have been living this way for far too long, and you're running out of time. You have to get to this thing that keeps coming back and back over and over again. You have been single for far too long. You have already gotten your doctorate in singleness, and yet this thing, this root, keeps holding you back. Okay, I get it, Jonathan, but how could I get rid of this root? Well, first, you have to ask God. You have to ask Him to reveal what is the root. What is the root cause for your anger, for your promiscuity, for your lying? And trust me, 10 out of 10 times He will answer. So get a piece of paper and pencil as He tells you in a still small voice in your heart. He will reveal those roots. So now you have what those roots are. This does not mean that later on you won't have them anymore, but you'll be more conscious of them. Now that you know, ask God, yet again, give me grace in order to get through these things. You might have to correct some of the lies that you do while you're telling the lie, or call someone back like, you know what? That wasn't the truth. I lied about that. Are you able to forgive me? Yes, you might feel weak during this process, but it will liberate you to live your best life now. Some of us, like myself, had to deal with sexual soul ties, which I'll talk more about on the next video. But I believe with all my heart that God is calling you to live a life of purity. It's time to stop giving yourself up to that special friend. Maybe time to stop answering certain calls, texts, DMs. Definitely time to stop watching certain things that might get you going, like porn, explicit movies, or even what you're hearing in through a song. You ever heard a song that changed your feelings? Like if you had a song that kept saying, sex, sex, oh, get yourself some sex. All of a sudden you find yourself dialing for some sex. Some of us have to jump out of the showers or even out of our beds if there's a root in our minds due to previous things done or seen that will lead to touching yourself like I had to do as I wrapped up in that sin. I was wrapped up in that sin, but God made me free, just like He could make you free. There are roots that you might be able to dig up quickly and some that will take a long time. But through God's grace, everything is possible. God will call you beautiful when you find yourself feeling ugly. God will restore the money that you had taken for gambling and replace it. What He wants is your heart. Are you willing to give Him your heart today and not live with the stress of the root because we are running out of time? We're here today, gone today. I am Jonathan, and I'm here to say it's time to be liberated from past hurts and offenses by calling those things that are not as if they were. I had to call myself handsome every day, as I still do, to get the root of what they told me when I was a little child. I love you, family. Share this video, like it, comment on it, and send me a message if you need help or want me to talk about something. Thank you. I love y'all.